Hello everyone, welcome back to another Infinity Kingdom video. This is Puppy from server M14, and today I want to go over how to farm your dragon crystals. So there are 7 different crystals you can gather. You have fire, water, lightning, earth, wind, shadow, and holy. So 5 of these are free to play. The shadow and holy here are a little bit harder to get. It does cost money. You can also use your VIP points that you accumulate once you get VIP 15 if you want to do it that way, but in my opinion, I don't think that's the best way to use your VIP points. But we're going to go over the 3 that are a little bit harder to grab. So wind crystals, as of right now, the only way that you can get the wind crystal is in your insignia shop in the arena. So I can't remember how much it costs. I want to say it's about 40,000 insignia to get the 6,000 wind dragon crystals. I don't recommend doing the 10 for 500. The value is just not as good. But this is where you get your wind dragon crystals. And as of right now, the wind dragon is not the best. So when it comes to shadow and holy, the way that you can get the shadow and holy crystals is by going to either the VIP system here. You can get them here. You only get 20 for 3,000 VIP. So in my opinion, I wouldn't do it this way. Another way that you can go and get shadow and holy crystals is by going to Rune Factory, go to the shop, and you get 100 for 20. I'm not sure if the value is that good yet, because when I use the Rune Factory event, I am getting Anubis. I am getting Anubis's artifact here. Maybe Fufei is a good option. I would rather go for Ninetales and just get Fufei from the monthly event that's up. But that is mostly what I'm using the Rune Shop currency for. You could even get the Inferno Insignia once in a while if you're very close to getting up to buy something from the Insignia shop. But this is a way that you can get the currency. Another way is if you have enough VIP points in GT Arcade, you can spend those points and redeem once a month. I want to say it's 50 to 100,000, maybe 20,000 points for 500 holy, and then you can do another set of the shadow crystals, and you could do that once a month. So now that we got the shadow, holy, and wind crystals out of the way, we're going to go over the other 4 left. So Death Stinger here, this is going to be for your water crystals. Giant Breaker, this will be for lightning. Lava Lurker will be for fire, and Metallic Fortress will be for earth. When you do go to fight these, I would highly recommend to just hit the level 18s, even in Legendary, because going from 124 crystals to 137 is very negligible. Just level 6, for example. I can barely defeat level 20 with my second march, but if I do level 18, I can send 3 different marches to hit them. You can either use the Purify option here and let the time go by, or you can use keys. What I would recommend if you're going to do the Purify option is to make sure in your talents that you have a couple of these talent sets. So Seize the Day is going to be a very important one. This will reduce the time by 10%. So normally instead of 6 hours to wait for a rare chest, it'll be 5 hours and 24 minutes. Yeah, so it cuts time by about 30 minutes, which adds up pretty quickly. The next skill you want to have is going to be Effortless. Attacking known bosses no longer consumes AP. 4-hour cooldown can store up to 5. So you will be using this about every other day when you are completing the different passes here. Sometimes it's the gnomes, sometimes it's the bosses. The bosses give you 5 attempts that you have to do, and the talent just fits perfectly into it. So make sure that if you're going to fight gnome bosses, if you want to preserve your AP, then make sure you have this talent tree set up. So make sure that you select Effortless for each one. Alright, now that you got your dragon crystals farmed up, you're going to go, make sure you do your domestication first, like I mentioned in the earlier video. You want to get these to level 10. And then once you complete that, you'll then go to your dragon talent, and you're going to level these up. Make sure you leave these at level 1. These larger ones, leave them at level 1 for now. Once you get your tree completely maxed out, all the way down as far as you can go, you could then start maxing out each of the nodes. Priority is going to be your damage dealt, reduced damage, your resilience rate, and then your accuracy. The last thing you want to do with your dragon crystals is feed them into the portrait. Do not feed the crystals into your portrait until your tree is complete. Then you can consider start doing that. In Legendary, I still work on the portrait once your Earth once your dragon is complete, I'd rather you work on the next dragon. Because when you go to your elemental domain, you're going to need pretty strong dragons to kind of help you carry the fight at times. Water would need the help. Fire definitely likes the help. Wind is going to be the most difficult one to do because you can only get your wind crystals from the arena, so that will take a little bit longer. Earth Dragon, usually people are going to have this maxed out first. Lightning is another one that's going to be a little difficult. And the Weekend, you really pick whatever you want. When it comes to choosing which of the 2 crystals to pick from when it comes to Holy and Shadow, I regret doing Shadow. Shadow is good when it comes to Arena because it has the decay effect. The Holy Dragon overall is a lot more valuable. It's also why you see a lot of Mega Whales use the Holy Dragon. There are a few different ways to farm your Dragon Keys. First one is Time Rift Breaker. You will get the Space-Time Glory badges, and you can use that in the shop to then purchase your keys. So what I would recommend is buy the uncommon Dragon chest keys. Buy as many as you can. And then you can use these keys to convert into rare, then elite, then epic. The reason being is because when you go from 880 to 1600, it's going to cost a little bit more going from here to here. Now, when you go from uncommon to rare, it's total of 3200. The most value that you get from these keys is actually doing the uncommons. Take the uncommons and you can convert them into rares, rares into elites, elites into epics. Only buy uncommons, because it's cheaper this way. It's the most efficient way to use your Time Rifter currency. Another way that you can farm the Dragon chest keys is going to be from Battle of Hysteria. When you do your individual challenge, you get 12 rare keys, which is pretty good. So that's all I wanted to go over when it comes to farming your Dragon crystals. Make sure you do level 18s, even legendary, so that you can send all 3 marches. It's going to save you some troop losses as well. When you use your Dragon crystals, make sure that you are using them on the Dragon skill first. Get that maxed out, then start working on the Dragon talent. So overall, what I would recommend you doing with these Dragon crystals is picking one Dragon, get it maxed out. It's going to take some time. Make sure you're doing the skill first, and then do the talent tree. Once that's completed, around legendary, you could then start considering working on other dragons. Always work on your main dragon first, because it is very time consuming to farm the crystals to complete your dragon. Make sure you do the portrait last, and that's once you get multiple dragons completed, especially on legendary, because you're going to need those dragons done for the elemental domain. Also, one thing I wanted to clear up real quick, I made a mistake on the previous video. I said that there were 7 total nodes for these here. There's actually 8. Now, what you can do is you can actually just count. So we'll go from 1 to 8 here. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So when you get to level 8, you could then do these 5 here. You cannot do the special node here, but you can do these 5. And then once you get to 9 in Conquest, you can't complete this. You have to wait until Legendary opens up. Once it does open up, you then have another 5 that you open up here to get to level 10 and to do the last node here. So that's all I want to go over when it comes to farming Dragon Crystals. If you guys have any comments, concerns, complaints, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section. I really appreciate you guys, and until then, have a good day.